Hi, I'm Stephen Neuner, president of Alkali and creator of the Empowered Advantage. I just wanted to thank you so much for tuning into the second edition of the Catalyst newsletter. I wanted to just let you know how much we appreciate all the kind words and feedback and suggestions for improvement. This newsletter is for you, and so all of that helps us continue our charge to just continuously keep you informed and educated and maybe bring new insights into your world in lots of different creative ways and hopefully add some value to your day. Today, in regards to value in different ways, I wanted to share with you, we had, my wife and I, Corey, she and I had a unique opportunity to attend a creative church leaders conference called C3 Conference. It was held at Fellowship Church in Grapevine recently. And there are just so much information shared. There's just a creative church leaders from around the world all converging in Grapevine, Texas to share ideas, to try to elevate what they're doing, to spread the word and the good news. So there's just so much. I could go on and on, all the different takeaways, but really, when it boiled down for me, I had three just kind of major takeaways or breakthroughs through this conference, and I just thought I'd take a couple of minutes to share them with you to see if they were impactful for you. For those of you that are not believers, not Christians, maybe worship a different faith, the purpose of this video is not to insult you or offend you. It's purely, I just truly believe that leadership principles are universal, and we're all leaders, whether it's in our family, our businesses, and our friends, relationships with our spouses. We're all leaders in some way, and so I wanted to just share these universal principles with you, and hopefully they'll add value to you as well. Takeaway number one: don't be too big for what you are called to do. For those of you that have been long-term clients of Alkali, you know that we started off as an employee benefits company. We focused on health, life, disability, those types of insurances that you would either get from an employer when you went to work for a company, or if you're self-employed or worked for a small employer, had to provide for yourself to take care of your family. When we started the company, there was just a lot of confusion, people being taken advantage. There were no process. It was really, really just confusing and complex. And I saw an opportunity and still have a continued passion to try to bring order and sanity to the industry. That being said, throughout the years as our business developed, we had an opportunity more than once just continuously come up for us to start helping people with home and auto insurance. And I have to tell you, honestly, I wasn't that interested. I see on TV, and I saw on TV, all these internet websites saying, give us 15 minutes, we'll save you 20 $20 or $200 or whatever the number was. And, you can buy online and name your own price of your coverage. And, to me, that was not appealing to me at all. I just thought if people can buy the insurance on the internet, I'm not interested in helping people if it's just that simple. And honestly, it was probably a little bit of a pride issue because, to do what I had done up to that point, I went through training through the Wharton School of Business, one of the most prestigious business schools in the country, to learn my craft and to be an expert in what I did. And so to do something that seemed so commoditized that even a caveman can do it, I just didn't think that there was any way for us to create value. Well, as time went on, I had time to reflect on it, and come to find out it was just a pride issue. I actually removed that barrier and started to look into it. And a lot of the same things that were going on in the health insurance world were happening in the home and auto. You have people confused because of all the complexity and all the options out there, and ultimately just making a choice purely based on price with not really any regard to coverage, just because all the information just started to sound the same. So when you can't tell a difference from one thing to the other, what do? You just buy on price. And boy, there was just such an opportunity for us to really have an impact. And so we modified some of our processes to and brought in talent, and we've really grown a really neat part of our business that's helping people in new ways. And now, because it's something that I thought was too insignificant and small, I mean, it's quickly becoming our most referred service in our home and auto insurance department. So don't be too big for what you're called to do. Takeaway number 2, can people trust you with their best interests? Whether we like it or not, we live in a world where trust is important. If I'm going to get on an airplane, I need trust that there's the person flying the plane has the right training and skill set and is in the right state of mind to be flying the airplane. We take it so for granted in a lot of areas, but unfortunately, the level of trust is continuously diminishing, and something that used to be freely given, say, in our grandparents' generation, the trust was just freely given because people knew that people were by and large going to do the right thing, and they could trust them to look out for me and not just themselves. Well, a lot of that's changed, and that has changed to the point where now we're seeing systems break down because of it, both in our internal government, where you see a lot of unrest right now, that people feel like there are people in power that aren't taking care of their interests and maybe just pushing their own agendas. You see it in the Middle East right now, where literally governments are being toppled because of this breakdown in trust. And so, that to take that big issue and boil it down to you is can people trust you? Have you earned their trust? Being trustworthy, whether you're in an employee or in a family, is crucial to the success of a relationship, crucial to future opportunity and growth, whether it's in the relationship or in the workplace. So if you're an employee and you work for a company, be trustworthy. Work on having and exhibiting consistently those types of characteristics that people can trust. And then secondly, the big impact for me, takeaway, is not just personally, how do I make sure that I'm doing things to be trustworthy, but also what type of company do we want to create? And if you're an employer, what type of business do you want to create in the world? And at Alkali, it's really important to me that we're a trustworthy, loyal, and faithful group of people. Those of you who know me real well, I'm kind of a nerd. I'm really into systems, and I think that systems can help add integrity. I mean, we have the Empowered Advantage, where our consultants are, they don't know how much one insurance company pays us over another. They're paid per person they help. We've got this open architecture system. We get 12 different quotes, and they're going to deliver the lowest price no matter what. So we got all these best systems, but even with all the best system I could possibly design, if we don't have great people behind it, then it's just real easy to have a breakdown. So you just look at, again, the corruption, and you see what's going on in larger bureaucracies out there, and there might be great systems just filled with people that don't have trust. The final takeaway, takeaway number 3, this is a tough one for me, don't take yourself too seriously. And the example they gave was that even Christ Jesus himself attended a wedding. And again, for those of you that aren't religious or worship, in a different faith, there's a lot of debate over who Jesus Christ was. And Jesus Christ, regardless of what you think, if you think he was the living God, Messiah, or you think he was just a great man, I've never heard anyone in all the argument and debate question whether or not Jesus Christ was a great leader. And in fact, I think even you could go to most non-believers, they would all probably agree, however, that Jesus Christ was one of the most influential leaders of all time. And that just think, I mean, this incredible leader making a major impact and transforming the world, you know, had time to visit a wedding. And back then, the weddings weren't even as simple as going to a wedding nowadays, where you're in and out in 15 minutes or less, and you know, on to the reception and the party. Back then, a wedding might take a week or even longer. So uh, I guess the point is that if the most influential leader of all time could take the time to step back from his worldly, you know, his global mission to transform people's lives, if he could take that time and spend time with his family and friends, and even turn a little water into wine, then you know, we'll probably have time too to slow down and have fun and just not take ourselves too seriously. So that wraps up the major takeaways from the C3 Leadership Conference for me. I hope that you know they were impactful for you, that they gave you some sort of new insight, maybe one or maybe more than one. I really hope that this was useful information. I love to hear any feedback that we receive, you know, that anyone cares to share. I want to just thank you so much for all of your support for Alkali, what we do. We appreciate your business, your referrals, and just all your support for what we do. And I just hope you have a great rest of the week, and look forward to seeing you soon.